The alarm blared through the royal palace, echoing down grand, ornate halls. The royal pet, ZYX, a creature of unparalleled beauty and significance, lay motionless, sending shockwaves of panic through the court. Lachlan, the Australian veterinarian, tightened his grip on his medical bag as he and his assistant, Zara, were hurried into the opulent throne room. "Lachlan, we need you to work a miracle," Zara whispered, her eyes wide with awe at the alien architecture around them. The walls shimmered with iridescent colors, and intricate carvings of unknown creatures adorned every surface. Lachlan nodded, his face set in determination. They had been summoned across the galaxy for a reason. "We'll do our best. Let's see what we're dealing with." Prince Threx stood near ZYX, his expression a mix of desperation and skepticism. The alien heir was tall and imposing, with skin that glowed faintly under the palace lights. "Can you save him?" Threx's voice was low, but the tension was palpable. Lachlan approached ZYX cautiously. The creature resembled a mix between a lion and a serpent, with shimmering scales and a mane of ethereal light. His breathing was shallow, eyes dull. He exchanged a glance with Zara, who was already scanning ZYX with a handheld device. "This isn't like anything we've encountered before," Zara murmured, her brow furrowed. "But look at these scales, Lachlan. This isn't a disease. It's something much more insidious." Lachlan's eyes widened as he realized what she was pointing out. "A parasite, one we've never seen. We need to act fast." Prince Threx's expression hardened. "If this fails, it's not just ZYX's life at stake, but our entire lineage's honor." "We won't fail," Lachlan replied firmly. "Not today." As they worked, the palace buzzed with tension. Alien nobles watched from the shadows, their murmurs filling the vast room. Lachlan and Zara moved with practiced efficiency, their movements a testament to years of working together. The atmosphere was thick with the scent of unfamiliar herbs and the hum of advanced medical technology. Zara gently lifted one of ZYX's massive paws, revealing the tiny, iridescent parasites burrowed into its flesh. "We need to remove these carefully," she said, her voice steady. "One wrong move, and we could do more harm than good." Lachlan nodded, his focus unwavering. "We'll start with a localized anesthetic. Then we can extract the parasites without causing too much distress." Time seemed to stretch as they worked, each second marked by the rhythmic beeping of their equipment. Zara's hands moved with precision, her face a mask of concentration. Lachlan monitored ZYX's vitals, his mind racing through possibilities and contingencies. Finally, after what felt like hours, the last parasite was removed. ZYX's breathing steadied, and a faint glow returned to its eyes. A collective sigh of relief echoed through the throne room. Threx stepped forward, his skepticism replaced by a grudging respect. "You've done the impossible. Our gratitude is eternal." Lachlan smiled, exhaustion etched into his features. "We just did what anyone would. Cared deeply and never gave up." As the alien sun set, casting eerie shadows across the palace, Lachlan and Zara exchanged a look of quiet triumph. The first step in earning the trust and respect of an entire alien society had been taken. But as they glanced at the still recovering ZYX, they knew their journey was far from over. The real challenge was only beginning. The alien sun dipped below the horizon, casting long, eerie shadows through the palace. Zara sat beside ZYX, her fingers gently brushing its shimmering mane. "Lachlan, look at this," she whispered, her voice filled with a mix of wonder and concern. Lachlan joined her, crouching to examine the faint luminescent lines on ZYX's scales. "These markings, they're changing," he noted, a frown creasing his brow. "It's like the parasites triggered a reaction we don't fully understand yet." Their initial success had bought them time, but the mystery of ZYX's illness was far from solved. They needed to uncover the root cause before the parasites could return or cause further damage. As they discussed their findings, the door to the throne room creaked open, and Prince Threx entered, flanked by his advisors. His expression was a blend of curiosity and guarded hope. "What have you discovered?" he asked, his tone less hostile than before. Lachlan stood, meeting Threx's gaze. The parasites are gone, but there's still an underlying issue. We need to conduct more tests to understand these changes fully. Threx nodded, his trust in the human veterinarians slowly growing. You have our full support. Anything you need, just ask. As the night wore on, Lachlan and Zara worked tirelessly, utilizing the palace's advanced technology to run diagnostics on ZYX. The lab was a marvel of alien engineering, with sleek, iridescent surfaces and instruments that hummed with unfamiliar energy. These readings are unlike anything we've seen, Zara said, her eyes glued to the holographic display. It's almost as if ZYX's biology is evolving. Lachlan's mind raced. We need to find a way to stabilize these changes before they become irreversible. Their work was interrupted by a soft chime. A message appeared on the screen, written in the elegant script of the alien language. Zara translated, her voice tinged with urgency. A delegation from a rival kingdom is arriving tomorrow. If ZYX isn't fully recovered, it could be seen as a sign of weakness. Lachlan clenched his fists, the weight of their responsibility pressing down on him. We have less time than we thought. We need to act now. As they prepared to implement their new treatment plan, Threx reappeared, his presence a reminder of the stakes involved. You must succeed, he said quietly. Our kingdom's future depends on it. With Threx watching intently, Lachlan and Zara administered the treatment, a complex mixture of alien herbs and advanced medicine. ZYX's breathing steadied, but the luminescent lines continued to shift and change, a kaleidoscope of colors under the dim light. The tension in the room was palpable as they waited for the treatment to take effect. Zara's hands trembled slightly as she monitored ZYX's vital signs. Come on, ZYX. You can do this, she whispered, her voice barely audible. Minutes stretched into hours, each one an eternity. Finally, ZYX let out a soft, rumbling purr, its eyes brightening with renewed vitality. The luminescent lines began to stabilize, settling into a steady, reassuring glow. A collective sigh of relief filled the room. Threx's face broke into a rare smile. You've done it, he said, his voice filled with genuine admiration. You've saved ZYX and our honor. But even as they celebrated this victory, Lachlan couldn't shake the feeling that their challenges were far from over. The arrival of the rival delegation loomed large, and the mystery of ZYX's transformation still hung over them like a dark cloud. As dawn approached, Lachlan and Zara exchanged a look of weary determination. They had won this battle, but the war was just beginning, and they would need every ounce of their skill and courage to see it through to the end. The rival delegation arrived with the first light of dawn, their sleek spacecraft descending into the palace courtyard with a hum of alien technology. Lachlan watched from the balcony, his mind racing with the implications of this visit. ZYX had stabilized, but the creature's transformation was still an enigma. Prince Threx approached, his regal attire gleaming in the morning sun. Lachlan, the rival delegation will demand to see ZYX. They must believe our kingdom is strong and capable. Lachlan nodded, determination etched into his features. We'll be ready, Your Highness. Down in the medical wing, Zara was meticulously preparing ZYX for the presentation. She gently combed through the creature's mane, ensuring every shimmering strand was in place. ZYX, we need you to look your best today, she murmured, her voice soothing. ZYX responded with a soft purr, its eyes reflecting the myriad of colors that danced across its scales. Zara smiled, but the worry in her eyes betrayed her calm demeanor. Lachlan, are we doing the right thing? Lachlan joined her, placing a reassuring hand on her shoulder. We've done everything we can. Now it's up to ZYX to show them. The grand hall was a spectacle of opulence as the rival delegation entered, their attire starkly different from the royal court. The air was thick with tension, every eye on the alien dignitaries who moved with an air of superiority. Threx stepped forward, his voice strong and confident. Honored guests, welcome to our kingdom. We present to you ZYX, our most treasured companion. Lachlan and Zara led ZYX into the hall, the creature's presence commanding immediate attention. The rival delegation murmured amongst themselves, clearly impressed by the majestic sight. One of the delegates, a tall figure with piercing eyes, stepped forward. "We have heard much about this creature's recent ailment. Is it truly recovered?" Lachlan stepped in, his voice steady. "ZYX has undergone significant treatment and is recovering well. However, there is still a mystery we are working to solve regarding its transformation." The delegate's eyes narrowed. "Transformation? What do you mean?" Zara stepped forward, holding a tablet displaying ZYX's medical data. "The parasites triggered an evolutionary response. We believe ZYX is evolving, but we are still studying the full implications." The room buzzed with whispers as the delegates processed this information. Threx raised a hand for silence. "Our veterinarians have performed miracles. ZYX is not just recovering. It is becoming something greater." Lachlan felt a surge of pride, but his instincts told him this was far from over. The rival delegation's leader spoke again, his tone filled with curiosity and challenge. "We would like to see this transformation firsthand." Tension spiked as Lachlan nodded. "Of course, follow us." They led the delegation to the observation chamber, where ZYX's evolution could be closely monitored. As the group watched, ZYX began to glow with an inner light, its scales shifting and changing in real time. The sight was both mesmerizing and unnerving. Zara explained the data, pointing out the changes in ZYX's physiology. "This is unprecedented. We believe ZYX is adapting to something in the environment, but we're not sure what." The rival leader's expression shifted from skepticism to intrigue. "Your work here is impressive. Perhaps there is more to learn from your methods than we realized." As they returned to the grand hall, the atmosphere had changed. There was a newfound respect in the air, but Lachlan couldn't shake the feeling that they were on the brink of something much larger. Threx approached them, his eyes filled with gratitude and concern. "You've done well, but this is just the beginning. We must uncover the truth behind ZYX's transformation before it's too late." Lachlan and Zara exchanged a determined glance. Their journey was far from over, and the stakes had never been higher. As the sun set, casting long shadows over the palace, they knew the real challenge lay ahead, hidden in the mysteries of an evolving creature and an uncertain future. The grand hall was cloaked in an uneasy silence as the rival delegation departed. Lachlan and Zara retreated to the observation chamber, the weight of their task pressing heavily on their shoulders. ZYX's transformation had raised more questions than answers, and they were running out of time to find solutions. "Lachlan, we need to understand what's triggering these changes," Zara said, her voice edged with urgency. "ZYX's condition is stable, but for how long?" Lachlan nodded, his mind racing. "We need to gather more data. Let's run a full environmental scan and compare it to ZYX's current state." They set to work, their hands moving swiftly over the advanced alien equipment. The air hummed with energy, the room filled with the soft glow of holographic displays. As the scans progressed, Zara noticed something unusual. "Lachlan, look at this. There's a significant spike in energy readings around ZYX." Lachlan peered at the data, his eyes narrowing. "This isn't just a biological transformation. It's reacting to an external force. We need to find the source." Just then, the door swung open, and Prince Threx entered, his expression grim. "The rival delegation is suspicious. They believe we're hiding something. If we don't present a full explanation soon, they might use this as a pretext for conflict." Lachlan's heart pounded. "We're close, Your Highness. We just need more time." Threx's gaze softened, but his worry was evident. "Do whatever it takes. Our future depends on it." As Threx left, Lachlan and Zara redoubled their efforts, scouring the palace for any anomalies. Their search led them to an ancient chamber beneath the palace, a place untouched for centuries. The walls were adorned with strange, glowing symbols, and the air was thick with a potent energy. Zara's eyes widened. This must be it, the source of the energy affecting ZYX. Lachlan approached a central altar, where a pulsating crystal lay. This crystal, it's emitting the same energy signature we detected. It's altering ZYX's biology. A realization dawned on Zara. ZYX is adapting to protect the crystal. It's like a guardian. The pieces fell into place. Lachlan turned to Zara, his eyes alight with understanding. We need to stabilize the crystal's energy to stop the transformation. If we can do that, ZYX will return to its normal state. They worked quickly, using their combined knowledge of human and alien technology to create a stabilizing field around the crystal. As the field activated, the chamber filled with a brilliant light, and the pulsating energy began to subside. Back in the observation chamber, ZYX's transformation slowed, the luminescent lines on its scales settling into a steady, harmonious pattern. The creature's breathing deepened, a sign of its returning health. Threx arrived just in time to witness the change. His eyes widened in awe. "You've done it. ZYX is stable." Lachlan exhaled a sigh of relief. "We've neutralized the external energy source. ZYX should recover fully now." Zara smiled, her exhaustion giving way to triumph. "We couldn't have done it without your support, Your Highness." Threx clasped their hands, his gratitude palpable. "You've saved our kingdom from potential disaster. Your expertise and courage have earned you a place in our history." As the palace celebrated their success, Lachlan and Zara shared a quiet moment of reflection. They had faced an unprecedented challenge and emerged victorious, their bond stronger than ever. Yet, as they looked at the recovering ZYX, they knew their journey wasn't over. The galaxy was vast, filled with unknown wonders and dangers. But for now, they had proven that humanity's compassion and ingenuity could overcome even the most daunting of trials. As the stars shimmered above the palace, Lachlan and Zara embraced the future with renewed determination, ready to face whatever came next. The real adventure had only just begun.